Hello guys, welcome to the first module of Selenium RC. So in this module we're gonna see what is Selenium RC, how to download and configure Selenium RC, what is the difference between different Selenium tools like IDE, RC and WebDriver. We'll be exploring the Selenium RC Java doc. We'll start and stop the Selenium server. We'll look what is the use of Selenium server in RC1. RC1 is the previous version of Selenium. So right now most of the companies are using RC 2.0. So we'll download the Firebug and Firepath. We'll configure Firebug and Firepath in Firefox, and then we'll automate. We'll do a simple automation on Google, and we'll do a simple automation on Facebook. So this will going to be a really interesting chapter. So before we start, let me tell you what is Selenium RC. The full form of Selenium RC is Selenium Remote Control. So through RC we can automate our web-based test cases on multiple browsers. So RC supports IE, Chrome, Firefox, Safari and all the other major browsers. So the difference between IDE, RC and WebDriver is IDE is only used for record and playback. You cannot create frameworks and handle large projects through IDE. IDE only works on Firefox. So there is a limitation over there that you cannot run IDE on other browsers like IE, Chrome, whereas RC and WebDriver supports all major browsers. So you can create data-driven and keyword-driven framework in both RC and WebDriver. So currently most of the companies are using RC 2.x version. Implementation becomes a bit complex, whereas RC is very simple tool, and you will find a lots of job in market related to RC with Java. So the major difference in RC and WebDriver is that you can automate Android and mobile applications through WebDriver, but you cannot automate these through RC. So rest both works the same way. So in this module we'll be studying RC, but we'll also be looking at WebDriver. So we'll be creating all our frameworks in both RC and WebDriver. So we'll be exploring the features of both RC and WebDriver in this training. So first of all, we need to do some configuration before we start scripting with RC. So we need to download and configure Selenium RC, and for that we'll go to google.com. We'll go to google.com and we write download Selenium. So this is the first site, the first link that we're gonna click, that is for seleniumhq.org download. So from here there are different Selenium versions, Selenium IDE, Selenium server, so for Java, for C++. So these are available on this website, Selenium HQ. So we're gonna download the latest Selenium server, and that is 2.16.1. so this is the latest Selenium RC server available. So we'll simply click on download, and I have already downloaded it, so this is available on my system. So once it gets downloaded, so it will come up like this. So this is a jar file, which is Selenium server standalone jar file. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to start the Selenium server. Before running our program, we need to make sure that Selenium server is started. Otherwise your program will not gonna run. For that we'll go to command prompt and we'll access the folder where we have kept the Selenium server. So we'll write cd C drive softwares jars and then we'll write java -jar and then Selenium server, and then we click on enter, and our standalone server has been started. Now we'll go to the Eclipse and create a new project. So I'll right click over here and create a new project, new Java project. So I'll give the name of the Java project as Selenium RC module 1, and then I'll click on finish. So under this we'll create a new class. So I think this project already exists on my system, so let's create a different project. Let's give it a different name. Let's create a new project. Let's give it a name RC1. Just that's it. So the new project has been created. So we'll add a new class file. We'll give a class file name as test Google, and this time we do not need to check this public static void main. We'll click on finish. There is a class that's been generated, test Google. So now we're gonna create a test which will open up Google, which will write something in Google, search it, and then click on that link. So for that we need to add a test annotation method. So we'll do it from the test ng. So you'll see how to add what this annotation means in the test ng module. So I'll add it right now. So I'll create a test name, let's say Google testing. So I've created a test with the name Google testing. So now I'll add the test ng library. So I'll add the test ng library first, and I'll import the test ng annotation. So I've explained how to download and configure test ng in the test ng module. So I've already explained it over there. So I'll configure Selenium, and we'll create an object of default Selenium class. So now I'll show you, before that, let me again take you to the Selenium HQ site, and over here we need to click on this Java doc. So this is the Selenium Java documentation that's been provided by the ThoughtWorks. So this is the default Selenium class available, which we will gonna use. So this default Selenium implements the interface Selenium and also some of the subclasses of the WebDriver that's been backed by Selenium. So we'll click on this, and this is the interface Selenium, and here you can see there are a lot of methods available which you can access from over here, like capture screenshot. So you can capture a screenshot, you can click on any link button, checkbox, radio button, you can close the window. So there are lots of functions that you can double click on any element, and you can get the window titles, you can get the cookies. So there are lots and lots of functions, lots and lots of methods available in Selenium. You can refresh a browser, you can set the mouse speed. So these all functions, these all methods will gonna help you while doing your automation. So we'll go back to Eclipse now. We'll create an object of default Selenium class and give it the reference to Selenium interface. For that, we'll write Selenium equal to new default Selenium, and so before that we need to add the Selenium jar. We'll need to configure the build path. We need to add the Selenium library, the jar file that we have downloaded. We'll click on add external jar and we'll add this jar. So we'll click on OK. So this jar file is now added, and now when I click on this, so it will show me I need to import the Selenium. I need to import the default Selenium library, and then so this default Selenium accepts 4 arguments. Let us see that in the Java doc. So we'll go back to the default Selenium. So this default Selenium constructor, so it accepts 4 arguments. One is the server host, the other one is the port, the other one is the browser that we're gonna work on, and the other one is the URL that we're gonna open. So these are the 4 arguments that we need to pass in this constructor. Now we'll add localhost over here, and then we'll give the port as 4444. This is the default port on which Selenium works, Selenium server works. So we'll give the browser as Firefox, and then we'll give the URL as http google.com. So this is how we initialize the Selenium. This is how we'll create an object of Selenium. So now we need to start the Selenium instance. So for that we'll write Selenium dot start. Selenium dot start. So this will start the Selenium instance. Start the Selenium instance. The next thing we need to do is open up a browser, and for that we'll write Selenium dot open. So this will open up the browser till the time the browser is completely, it will go to the google.com till the time the page is uploaded completely. Now we'll save it and we'll run it and we'll see what happens. So we'll run it. It's running. See, there's a remote control window open where all the logs and everything is showing, and there's the other browser open and it has opened up the URL google.com, and when you look over here, so it has gone to the site google.com. So this time I have maximized the window. So I want that whenever a program runs, then it should maximize the window by itself. So what I'll write Selenium dot maximize. Selenium dot window maximize, and Selenium dot window focus. So the focus should be on the current window. So we'll save it and we'll run it again. so the window is maximized now. So the next thing is to write under the search box. You need to click on the search box and then you need to write something. So how will we gonna do that? We'll have to find the X path of this text box and then write something inside it. So there are two very good tools available for that. One is the Firebug and the other one is the Firepath. So we'll need to download that. So for that we'll write download Firebug. So this is an add-on to the Firefox. You'll click on it and you can download and configure it from here. So same way you'll again go back to Google and you'll download the Firepath. So Firepath is also an add-on for the Firefox, so it will get configured under the Firebug. So you need to configure these two tools. So this will really gonna help you in generating the XPath expressions. So once it gets downloaded, once you are able to successfully download it, so it will gonna look like this. So let's you go to google.com and under the tools you'll see this option, Firebug. So you'll open the Firebug from here, so it will come up like this, and then you need to click on this Firepath. So this will help you to generate the XPath of this search text box. So how will you find the XPath? So you need to click on this button. This is the inspect element button. So and you'll take it over here and then you'll click on it. So this is the XPath of this search text area. So you'll copy till this. You don't have to copy this dot. So you'll copy the XPath till this only, and then for typing inside the search area you need to write selenium dot type. So you see this type accepts two arguments. So the first is the XPath. You need to mention the XPath, and the second one is the text that you're gonna enter in the search area. Let's suppose we enter way to automation. So we'll save it and we'll run it once again. So let's see what comes. Hit google.com and it has written way to automation.com. Sorry, way to automation. Okay, so the next thing what I want is that after writing way to automation, it should click on this search button and then it should click on any of these links. So I want that after clicking on this search button, it should click on like this link. So what I'll do, I'll again go to the Firefox application and I'll search for the XPath. Search for the XPath of this button. So let's suppose this is the XPath. I'll copy this XPath and I'll write selenium dot click, and then I'll give the XPath of the button. So after that, I want that it should click on, let's suppose, this link. So I'll copy the XPath of this link and I'll write selenium dot click, then I'll give the export of this link. I'll save it and I'll now again run the program. Let's see what happens now. So it has gone to the google.com, it has entered way to automation, and it has not clicked on any link. Why it has not clicked on any link? Because the page download time was more and the execution of this is really fast. So the command is executed before the time that the page is downloaded. So what we're gonna do, we'll give a sleep time. We'll write thread.sleep. So it will give a wait time of like 2 seconds and then click on that link. So we'll save it and now we'll run it. So open the google.com, write way to automation, and then it has clicked on the website. So this is how you're gonna deal in your project as well. There will be some pages which can take more than 5 seconds, more than 7 seconds of the time in downloading. So you need to manage these things in the project. We're gonna see more of these things when we'll be creating our framework. So till that time, we'll now see how to, once the browser is open, how to stop the Selenium instance, and how to close this window. We'll again go to the Eclipse and we'll write Selenium dot close, and then we'll write Selenium dot stop. So Selenium dot close will close the browser window, and Selenium dot stop will stop the Selenium instance. We'll again give some sleep time over here, otherwise it will close the window before the page downloads completely. We'll give a sleep time of, let's say, 5 seconds. We'll save it and we'll run it again. So it has opened up the browser and has gone to the website. It will wait for 5 seconds and it will close the browser and the Selenium instance. So now you have seen the use of Selenium RC while automating a small website, that is like we go to google.com, we have hit the element text box, and then we have typed something in the text box, we have clicked on the search button, we have clicked on a link. So now I'll show you one more example of one of my Facebook automation. So what I have done in this example is that I have logged into the Facebook account, I've entered the username, password, and then click on the submit button. I have clicked on my image and then I've clicked on the change picture link, and then I have changed the background image. So I've uploaded a new image and then I've again clicked back on the logo of that image, and then I have closed the browser. So this is the small live example on a live project that I'll demonstrate it to you right now. I'll simply go ahead and click on the run button. So this will open up the Firefox browser. It will log into the Facebook. It will enter the email and the password and then click on the login button. Once it's clicked, once it's entered the Facebook account, and then it will gonna click on, and it will change, it will now change the image, it will browse the new file. So if we click on browse, it has entered a new image link, and it has now changed the image. Now it will again click on the Facebook image, and see, I have given some sleep time over here. So it has clicked back, and then it has closed the browser. So this is a small example of a live project, that is facebook.com. So in these modules I'll be covering the examples from the live project, from the live website, which you can test it, which you can automate it through Selenium RC, through Selenium WebDriver, and there will be lots and lots of interesting examples based on the real-time scenarios. So based on the real-time situations that I have faced in my project, that you will be facing on daily basis while doing automation of your current project. So now let's see what we have covered so far. So we now know what is Selenium RC, how to download and configure RC. We have seen the difference between ID, RC and WebDriver. We have explored the Selenium RC Java doc. So we have seen how to start and stop Selenium server. So this RC one was the old version of the remote control. So the current version is Selenium RC 2.0 and like other 2.0 versions. So this current RC version also supports the libraries, the classes provided in the WebDriver. So this is the version which most of the companies are currently working on. So we've seen how to download Firebug and Firepath and how to configure them, how to use them in our current project, how to find the XPath. We have automated a small Google application, and we have seen the example of how to change image in a Facebook application. So this is all for the demo, for the Selenium RC demo. There will be lots and lots of examples provided in the coming modules. So till that time, practice the stuff that I have teach you. There will be a lot coming very soon. So thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot.